Welcome in, everybody, to the first post-overtime edition of the Cake Eaters podcast. I'm joined, as always, with Blake Wheeler, who, in fact, played in this game.
I had a nice assist.
You did. You had a great assist. It was very impressive. So, good job. But yeah, that was an interesting hockey game. Boy, what were your thoughts on it, Blake? It was, I don't know. I'll wait to give mine.
It was stupid.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought it was two very weird periods of hockey. And then the third period was actually good, like a good hockey period.
It happened. Yeah.
Yeah, and then overtime lasted about 2 seconds, as it often does with the Avs. Last year.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, let's just start from the beginning. Pretty much most of the first period was in the Avs zone. The Jets. Well, I want to start at the very top here because I have never seen as obvious of a trip not called as what happened to Alex Newhook on that first power. Like literally not once. Guy stick and skate, pulls, guy falls down. Nothing else around him to make him think it was something else. Just nothing. That was just weird to me. I've never seen anything like that before.
Can we just get this over with now and then not talk about it the rest of the show?
About how bad the refs were? Yeah.
The refereeing in this game was garbage. It was clown shoes. It was so bad.
We were frustrated by the Wild game. This was a new level. The linesmen, I don't think the linesmen were pretty bad. They were bad. The refs were bad. The Avs had one power play on the entire night against the Winnipeg Jets. Now, I know sometimes that happens, but guess what? This was not one of those nights.
Dude, again, if teams are going to get away with this clutch and grab shit against the Avs all year, it might be a long season, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, send McDermott out on your fourth line and just have him just hug guys.
It's not legal for us.
Apparently. It was... I have multiple instances on the top of my head where I'm like, okay, how do you not call this? And I was not a fan of them evening up Martin Kaut's call because the thing is that Martin Kaut does something. They don't call anything. And then Max Pacioretty, Cole Perfetti comes and retaliates and then they call it. If you're not going to call the first one, then don't call it. But guess what? You called the second one, and then you felt the need to even it up. You saw the second one was the penalty.
And I don't even want to get into this. It was just bad all around. Everything was bad.
It was bad.
The linesmen forgot what icing and offsides were, and the referees didn't know what the fuck a penalty was tonight. It happens.
It was really brutal to watch, especially in the third period when the Avs are dominating, quite frankly. They were dominating possession. And multiple times, the Jets just got away with stuff. They even got a power play in that period. Right?
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They got a power play in that period on a trip.
I don't remember.
The Jets had 3 power plays tonight. They had one at the beginning of the game that they scored on. Which was the St. Gerard.
No, it was in the second. The Jets went 1 for 2. It was the Manson thing in the third. That was it.
No,
Manson held the guy and they took both.
Okay, so they didn't have a power play. Okay, maybe that's why I was frustrated. So sorry, 2 power plays. The Gerard trip, obviously, that was a plain trip. I have no problem with that. The problem is that you didn't call the most obvious trip I've ever seen in the first minute of the game. So where's the consistency? And then they called Josh Manson for tripping while he's getting hooked by Mason Appleton.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm good on refs. They just sucked. It is what it is.
I feel like that's fair. I need to get my thoughts out because this was it's extremely infuriating for me to continue to see this happen. And this isn't anything new. Refs, we'll see this. They try and make the game equal by inserting themselves in and getting, giving a lesser team more leeway against a higher skilled team. And obviously that's not always the case. It just happens on rare occasions. I thought tonight it was awful. I thought Pierre-Luc Dubois got away with like tackling a guy twice in the third period.
Pierre-Luc Dubois also dives whenever he gets touched, he just falls. I never noticed that.
He's a really talented player, but yeah, ever since he got to Winnipeg and I see him 4 times a year, I'm just kind of like, wow, this guy is a little bit of a rat because he gets away with so much crap and then he dives all the time and it's super frustrating. I don't know. And then I struggle with this last play because there's obviously much more things involved. But Appleton hits McKinnon against the wall before McKinnon can touch the puck. Now, as a ref, you have to kind of play it on the overtime goal.
Oh, I had a problem with Mikko just missing that shot. Like that's what led to it. Like sometimes you just
see, okay, so someone said this to me before, and I'm like, look, I understand. Should he have taken that shot? No. But the problem
I think he should have. It was like a clean look from the slot. You just got to hit the net.
That's kind of what I mean. My problem is that Nathan McKinnon then gets the puck and makes a bad play with it. So he gets the puck and I guess it's not as much of a bad play, but I can't blame Mikko for that last goal. I don't think
Mikko was a little slow after his shot though. Like but
McKinnon was too. He missed that. You could tell he missed that pass and he was like, "What are you doing?" But then he realized that he needed to skate
He missed
back.
it, but Mikko also wasn't hustling yet. And then when Mikko was like, "Oh shit," he started hustling back. Actually did a pretty good job forcing Pionk to shoot, and then I don't know.
It was McKinnon that did that. I'm pretty sure.
I thought Mikko was down the middle, but
I thought it was Kale.
Kale kind of like back. It was kind of a miscommunication in the end.
We can talk
because Mikko was like, let's just get into this. So Mikko was like,
here. Why not? We'll go backwards. Who cares?
Mikko was busting his ass back, and he took the guy in front of the net because that was just kind of all he had. And like Kale was just late to get over to Pionk and gave him a clean look. And I still just have a problem with that goal. Like, dude.
I mean, I'm rewatching it right here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so Mikko comes in. He fires it high. Nate gets it. He slaps it to Mikko.
Yeah, bad play.
And then Nate gets cut off. No, Mikko does hustle his ass back. I think what needs to happen there is okay.
One of them's got to take, like.
I think that was definitely a miscommunication. And I want to get into this. I do not think this was another game in a row where I was not impressed with Cale Makar defensively. He was not very good defensively, especially on the Jets' second goal. But on that one, I don't blame him as much. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think it's an awful play because obviously he gives him the shot and you're not thinking Neil Pionk's going to do what the hell he did.
Dude, still, your goalie needs to save that. It's from the top of the circle.
It's not actually. So here's the thing.
A little lower. He like started his wind up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody was like, he starts his wind up. He actually lets it go by the dot.
Still, man.
He's off his angle. I don't have.
It's also Neil Pionk. Like, dude.
Well, but he's an NHL player. Every so often, a guy.
I get it. I get it.
Shot.
I get it. But
I don't. So I don't disagree. I think Georgiev should make that save, but I'm also not saying like this is something you would need to save as an NHL goaltender. But yeah, I agree. I just personally, I do just want to get back. I don't know how that play would qualify along the interference spectrum because McKinnon does not have the puck. Mason Appleton,
interference. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't need to hit him to get that puck. He can easily make a play on that puck without hitting McKinnon. And that's where my problem. And then he completely takes him out of the play by doing that. And that's where my problem is he gains a distinct advantage by doing something he doesn't need to do. And if he doesn't do that, then
yeah, that's just not my problem with the goal.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's borderline enough that I'm not like really complaining about it. I just don't
Mhm.
know.
My
The
problem
reffing
with
was all over the place
my
tonight.
problem with this goal starts before overtime even starts.
But with Mac and Miko, why do you do
So
this? Why does he keep trying this? Sorry. I need I don't understand what he's seeing. There was one time where Mac and Miko and Mac on the ice at the same time in a regular season overtime game worked. At least off the top of my head. And you know when that was? That was 2018 against the Ducks and 4-on-3 overtime. What every time those two are on the ice
so
in overtime, it never works.
this was I don't know if it was like Bednar getting out coached, but basically like in the arena, right? The Jets sent their three guys like before, the clock expired to like get your guys out there.
Yeah.
And the refs actually ended up having to wave the Avs guys on from the bench because they were so late. Like they had
I
no
did notice
idea who
that.
to
Yeah.
put out there. And it was really weird to me because I was like looking and I was like, I think again it was what Dubois, Appleton, Pionk. Is that what it was?
No, it was Lowry, Appleton, and Pionk.
It was Lowry. Okay, so yeah, this makes it even worse for me because like I mean he's saving Taves for Kyle Connor, right?
Right.
Fine, whatever. Save your best defensive defenseman for Kyle Connor. I agree. So I would have gone McCarr, McKinnon, and either Val or Lehkonen
I
because
completely I same.
but he sees this matchup and
He's like fast.
he's like top guns against their scrubs. Let's roll. And still, he got baited into it. Didn't work. Because
Yeah,
originally, so
and
you know who they actually originally had out on the ice?
I know they had Byram out.
It was Beau. Yeah, it was Beau, Val, and Nate. And I was like, oh, that'd be fun. And then last minute, there was some confusion, and Miko and Kale jump over the boards. And
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
I
here we go.
I
Here we
don't
go.
I so I can see where Bednar's coming from, where it's like, look, we can finish this game right here. I don't have to worry about Devon Taves against Kyle Connor. Because in theory, you'd hope that your top guys don't give up a goal less than 30 seconds in. And
Right.
I don't really think I don't think the matchup is as much of the problem. I just feel like there's something that never works with Nate and Miko in 3v3. I
Yeah.
think I don't you need to put I think from an overtimes forward, I think it should be Mac and Lehkonen because they have really good chemistry. Maybe Nuke if you want to throw him in there if he's really feeling it. He was feeling it tonight. I wouldn't have complained about that. And then preferably Nuke and Miko.
Yeah. I
And then like whatever your third, maybe like
so
Newhook and
now there's nothing they can do about it, right? They got to play the
right.
game and they win the draw. Nice play by McKinnon. And I
Yeah.
said out loud right then, I was like, they better score on this first rush or else they're not winning. And sure enough, in the blink of an eye, it's in the back of the net. And,
Yeah. It was a very shocking finish to the game.
it wasn't even shocking. It was just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
just on TV. It's one of those shots. Like that's your side, right? That's the side you sit
Hmm.
on, so you kind of
Yeah.
get
I
the
mean,
angle that it went in.
I
So
mean,
for
I
me,
got
I'm
like
like,
the perfect angle. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, okay, maybe nope. Oh, okay,
No,
and
yeah.
like,
He just got smoked. Georgiev wasn't even close. He just got
yeah,
smoked. Yeah.
yeah. I think he overcommitted for sure. But let's talk about the other goals first. Um, Obviously, we got into the Jets' first period. They score a goal on the power play where another good penalty kill from the Avs, but then they just shoot themselves in the
LOC,
foot at the end. Yeah,
what you
and
doing, man?
he remembers that he scores points on when he's shorthanded, but then he also like just didn't. It was very stupid play from him. They mentioned it on the broadcast when you're When you're struggling as a penalty killing unit, just dump it every time. You don't need shorties. You don't need anything. Just dump the puck.
There's a time and a place.
Yeah.
It's a math equation going up the ice, right? So
Yeah.
LOC's got 3 tired guys. You got to take all this stuff into equation. He's got 3 tired guys, 4 really, including him, right?
Honestly, he doesn't even take that into consideration. It's him versus like 3 Jets players.
Right. So all of his guys are getting off, right? They're like, yes, we got it out. LOC is going to send this one down the ice. We got to get off. It is not the time and the place to try to get a shorty. Tries to force the pass, and it's in the back of your net. Connor makes him pay.
And then EJ goes for a swim.
EJ goes for a little adventure, as he did a lot tonight. He was awful tonight, by the way.
Yeah, I do not disagree. It was not a great EJ game. He had like one flash where I was like, "Good job, EJ." But
Did he though?
There was the one play he had with Comfer where Comfer gave him the feed off the wall, where he made a nice read on the play and went down the middle. But then he also shot the puck at Connor Hellebuck's chest, and I'm like,
right into the breadbasket. Yeah,
good process, I guess. But yeah, it was that was a real stinker from O'Connor and Johnson, which is really disappointing because those two are supposed to be your better penalty killers. That's their thing. Like, that's kind of the better value that they bring to the team. But yeah, that one was tough. And then in a little bit later, I touched on this. Kyle and Perfetti both go to the box, so we get 4-on-4 hockey. And Mason Appleton and
this is the part of Pionk, and this is the part of the show where I just want to give credit to the Jets, man. They were good.
The
Jets were good.
Ref problems aside and all that, the Jets played a really good hockey game. They came out with a system that they wanted to play in mind, and they executed it really well.
Mm-hmm. The Avs busted it like about halfway through the second.
Yeah, then the Avs top line was like, wait a second, you guys are slow.
Honestly, all the lines. Yeah.
Yeah, then the Avs kind of figured it out. And I mean,
yeah. Like halfway through the second, to the end of that game was
all Avs.
A shit stomping by the Avs.
Yeah.
But the first half of it was the Jets slightly outplaying the Avs.
Yeah, it was a lot of time in the Avs zone. They weren't creating many like chances, but they were working the puck around a lot and like getting their shots when they needed to.
Made the Avs tired, and then a lot of breakdowns when you're tired.
Best defense is a good offense kind of thing. Like, they're not going to score goals against us if they don't have the puck. So credit to the Jets. I don't want to gloss over here. This was a problem I had the whole night. I think the Avs were really passive in their defensive zone, and that was kind of what played out here. Makar let Appleton walk in all the way to the bottom of the circles for no reason.
On the rush, I think, they were passive, but in their own zone, it just, like, every loose puck just bounced right to a Jets player.
I would agree, but I feel like when the Avs got their chances, they were scared. It felt like, and they were rushing to make decisions. With the puck, that weren't great. I thought the coverage at times was lacking, but I can agree that, like, they didn't give up anything super high danger outside of that. Outside of like a few times in that third Jets goal.
Let's actually look at this. Let's look at the high dangers.
Yeah, please do. But yeah, I was on that play. I caught. It's 4-on-4. Makar and Taves need to be tighter to their guys. They can't let them back in all the way. But still not a bad play from the Jets. That's not
right.
You gave it good team space. They're going to take advantage of it, and they made a nice play and took advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. So,
a really nice shot too from Pionk.
Any guesses on the high dangers?
I would say
at 5v5.
At 5v5, I would say it's like probably like the Avs probably had like 3 or 4 more.
Yeah, 11-6 Avs. Even strength though, with that awful 4-on-4, it's 11-8. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Somehow the Avs just weren't really going on 4-on-4. It was weird.
No one practices 4-on-4.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just seen them do better like earlier
Totally.
in the year
They
and
should
stuff.
do
But
better.
yeah, as a team with speed, that's what you're it's kind of like one of those times where you're like, it feels like a power play for you because like, you have so much speed and you get so much space.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
Yeah.
that's a bit stereotypical, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the Avs get out of that first period down 2-0, and it's not looking too good. They get into the second. Things continue pretty similarly. And then the Avs first line has one of the greatest shifts that I've seen in a long time. Like,
Good stuff.
they're cycling the puck around. They're not just doing what the Jets are doing, where they're just cycling and cycling. They're actually getting chances. They're moving the puck to the middle of the ice. They're taking good shots.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends off with a really nice pass from Nathan McKinnon to Mikko
Mm-hmm.
Rantanen, who tips the puck in to get the Avs kind of back in it.
Mm-hmm. That shift to me was, I mean, obviously all of them did their part, right?
Right.
Amazing work by all of them, but dude, Cale Makar. Talk about, making up for your mistake earlier in the game. Yeah.
I can see that. I was actually a little. I was like, okay, this is when he gets his goal. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but that's okay.
But he controlled that shift. That shift was dictated by Cale Makar.
Blake was telling me earlier about how when Cale Makar is on the ice, he just controls play, and that was definitely one of those times for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was super nice. I was just like, I think I tweeted it out. I was like, why have sex when you could just watch that shift?
Dude, it was like almost too perfect.
It was like, I was like, I don't know. It was just like, I was so happy, but I was like, but the Avs are still down by 1. And it was like, God, please don't lose this game so I can see this, so I can have a reason to watch this shift over and over again. Obviously, not exactly how things
The OTL is meh.
Yeah. But after that, you think the Avs might have cracked the code. Not really.
Stalled a little after that,
Yeah,
but it was still much better than the
Yeah,
first
they
period.
stalled and give the Jets a goal. Cole Perfetti gets one.
Yeah, it was like
on the road to him
so
putting
a problem I had with the Avs in the beginning of the game was the Jets had this sustained pressure, right? And all the Avs shots were off the rush, and then they would not get the rebound.
And then
they'd be back in their own zone for another minute. And so that it was kind of the opposite right here, where like the Avs kind of were vibing a little bit in the zone, forechecking, getting their cycle going, and then the Jets kind of break it out and rumble down the ice, and it's just a goal,
Yeah.
Really nice pass by Wheeler. I mean,
by you.
By me, right? Don't know how I fit that through there. There were like 8 things.
Giggity.
Right to Cole Perfetti's tape.
Yeah.
Good.
And it just has a wide open net. Not much else to say on that one. After that, then the Avs kind of started to get their footing again. I think, was it before or after that where they actually had it was a really good kill from the Avs.
It was right after.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, and then the end of the period comes and the Avs top line was like, well, we did it once, why not just do it again? This time sprinkling a little bit of Byram, because that was that was like Cale Makar dominated that first shift. I felt like Bo and Byram was controlling that
this one's tied. This one's tied for me. This one's a tie between Bo and Mikko.
Yeah, that one's fair. It was Bo and Mikko, and then Bo.
Of course, they get the goal.
Yeah. Bo makes a really nice feed, and this is something that people always like. I feel like people point this out a lot with Mikko. He's such a good goal scorer because you see him. He chokes up on his stick. He gets down on one knee, and he really just gets under that puck where it would usually be really hard to do that.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's not like the greatest. It's a really good finish, but it's not like he's like sniping Hellebuck or anything. It's not like a super hard finish for him, but he makes sure that Hellebuck is not going to get it.
Yeah, Mikko Rantanen was the best player on the ice tonight for both teams.
I would completely agree.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't think it's particularly close.
I have a different take, but we have to wait and see that. And speaking of Mikko Rantanen being the best player on the ice,
Pionk? You gonna say Neil Pionk?
Pionk, dude.
Point.
I said it, and then he scored the first goal, and then in the third period, because every time they mention it, that's every game I watch where they say Neil Pionk's name, I just go Pionk, and they mentioned it in the third, and it took everything in me to not say it, and he scores anyways. I'm like, well, what can I do? All right, what can one man do?
But, I was talking to a buddy yesterday. He was like, "Are you ready to play the Winnipeg Jets?" And I was like, "Yeah," just like sarcastically. And he was like, "They are certainly the most hockey team ever." I was like, "Yeah, that's true."
That's so fair.
And I was like, Neil Pionk is also the most hockey player ever.
You did this. You did this to us.
That's my fault. Yeah.
Everybody.
Neil Pionk is my father.
In your mad tweets. Yep. It was
If I was running the Twitter account, that's all I would have said.
Neil Pionk is my father. Maybe that's the thing. I don't think I can run the Twitter account because we only lose when I do it.
Sorry, Neil. Sorry, Neil.
Yeah,
Dad. I meant Dad.
Neil. Now, what the Avs depth took what we said the other day personally. Now Neil Pionk took what you said personally.
Dude, he still is just the most hockey player ever.
Yeah, he wasn't
Dad is the most hockey player ever. My bad.
He wasn't like putting out like he wasn't showing out, but he made the best of his chances. He hopped into the play and made it count, man. But yeah, let's talk about this power play because it starts. The Avs lose the face-off, and it gets iced, and then they come back, and then Nichushkin and Mikko just cycle the puck around, and then Mikko gives a gorgeous pass.
It was that same play we saw in Calgary.
Yep, a beautiful sauce pass, and Nuke gets another not 5v5 goal.
Can I talk about this? Okay, so this is something I've been noticing, just kind of like league wide. The diamond PK, man,
just doesn't work.
It's not it. I like a soft box.
Phrasing.
So, like, let the other team's defenseman shoot. Let them shoot it from the circles. Trust your goalie. That's kind of my preferred PK setup. But clearly, Rick Bowness is a proponent of the diamond, and his diamond got pretty freaking destroyed there by Mikko.
Yeah, it might have gotten more destroyed if the Avs actually got chances on the power play, but we already talked about that.
Yeah. So it's just kind of a league-wide thing. I keep watching games and I'm like, they're in a diamond. Diamonds suck.
Yeah, so this is something that I've been taught since youth hockey, and obviously, most NHL teams run a very umbrella-like system. But, I feel like teams don't adapt enough when they like switch to a more overload. And that's because that's when you're supposed to run a box.
Well, yeah. And then the Avs, all the Avs do there is Nichushkin moves.
Yeah. He just goes to net.
He just moves. That's all he does. And it's broken.
Yeah.
Back of your net.
Beautiful pass by Mikko again. Just wanted to reiterate. Yeah. Oh, the sauce. That's some like an Italian grandmother level sauce.
Over 2 sticks.
Yep. He's really that's like there's 2 Mikko moves. It's that little sauce from behind the goal line to the middle and his backhander. Those are the moose moves. But yeah, then there's the third period. Now I don't know how much we need to touch on the third period because like we kind of said, the Avs just kind of kicked their asses. They couldn't get a goal though. I was a little disappointed. I thought
they were generate a ton.
Yeah, they were just controlling.
They had the puck the whole time. Yeah,
and they had good chances. I had one problem with the third period, and that was towards the middle part. They were really content on forcing pucks, and I'm like, calm down. Stop trying to force pucks through people. You're faster than this team. Just go, work the puck up, get it, and then, get some shots. And I was really disappointed that they didn't score. They definitely had some chances. It wasn't like they peppered the hell out of Hellebuck and he just stood on his head, but they definitely, could have had a few. I'd like to see really quick.
Bucky was good, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, really on any of their goal on the Avs goals, I'm not sure what you want him to do. Hellebuck so far this year has been pretty good. Let me just look at this really quick.
So I was looking over the Jets bench. Was Rick Bowness on the bench?
No, he's out with COVID protocol.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense because I was like, there's like one fat dude and he doesn't look like Rick Bowness.
Yeah, I was confused.
Did Rick Bowness get a haircut?
Yeah, that was the thing. He looked enough like Rick Bowness where I was like, okay, if he got a haircut.
Right.
Maybe.
Exactly. So like, is that Rick Bowness? But yeah, I didn't know he was out.
Yeah, so in the third period, according to Money Puck, the Avs essentially had like one expected goal over time, but like I don't think they had like one event.
Money Puck is for bozos.
All right, well, shut up.
Corsi in the third period, guess? 18 minutes of 5v5, Corsi.
Like 23-4.
21-3, Avs.
Oh, dude, I was so close.
Scoring chances, 11-2. High dangers, 5-1. So maybe I'm wrong. It just didn't feel like they generated a ton of dangerous stuff.
Yeah, I mean, 5 high dangers
that's good. Yeah,
right. I mean, it's good, but it's
in one
not
period.
Like,
in one period, it's really.
I know it's really good, but it's not like the goalie's like absolutely just robbing you left and right and just like.
No, yeah, it wasn't like that.
It felt very much like there was 5 high danger chances, but the Avs couldn't get it done. No power play because once it hit 10 minutes left, it turned into playoff hockey where the refs refused to call anything.
Dude, that was frustrating.
That was very like maybe because I don't think I've seen those refs in the playoffs. So maybe they're trying to show the NHL, hey, we have what it takes to not call penalties in the third period.
It went both ways though. Like Erod like tripped a dude in the corner, and it was like the most obvious thing ever. And nothing. And I think who was it? It was on the opposite side of me, but I think it was like Newhook got blatantly tripped. Nothing. Yeah, I went both ways. And then the Manson thing was hilarious because Manson totally held the guy, and they took both. So
yeah, it was a little bit of Manson held him. Luc Dubois was falling and he kind of grabbed him with him. But yeah, it was an interesting period. And then obviously we touched on the overtime goal. So, and then obviously the game's over. The Avs get a point. 2-1-1 on the season. Now there's some things I want to talk about. One, Martin Kaut, he got called up yesterday. I don't think he was super fantastic, but I think he was absolutely good enough that he deserves more looks.
He was great.
His forecheck was really good. Now, this was a play that I really liked that he kept making, and the Jets were just kind of like, "Whoa, he made that play again. We should do something about that." And they didn't. But so he goes into the corner. It's usually, I think it was Nichushkin. It sometimes was Comfort. He'd take the puck and he'd immediately rim it around to the defenseman. And that gives the defenseman
over and over and over. Yes.
And it gives the defenseman space. It makes it a nice quick play. And obviously he knows that the defensemen are the ones that are, going to be, the better offensive players. Well, I mean, in some cases.
Except
Eric Johnson was on the ice. Hey man, did you not watch Manson's goal?
I watched him tonight.
He was offensively. I mean,
not a vibe tonight.
He was fine. I thought he was perfectly.
Yeah, he was fine. The offense was not a vibe though.
Yeah, the offense. I barely remember a single Manson puck touch offensively. I think he got one shot blocked. That's what I remember. But I thought Kaut was good. I thought he was good on the forecheck. There was the one shift that line had before the Jets got called for their one penalty of the game, where it was him and Comfer. He kept winning, tying guys up, winning buck battles, which led to the play. I thought he was good, and Bednar said so after the game that he liked his game. So that
was a nice little injection of offense.
Yeah, for that.
Into like the middle six.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he started double shifting, mostly like Comfort and Nichushkin.
Yeah, I got a little worried at the beginning of the second period because he got skipped a few rotations, but then he came back out.
Yeah, he was pretty quiet in the first period. I think he was just getting his feet under him, and then he really turned it on. Like he was very noticeable.
I think maybe that him getting sat was like, all right, this could be my last chance. I'm going out there. And
it was more LOC getting sat for that PK play, I think.
Yeah, I think I hope he continues to play like this, maybe even with I thought offensively he was okay. Like he made those nice plays, but he missed a few. He had 2 decent shot opportunities that he sailed wide.
Yeah.
And he needs to start hitting the net on those because he has a really good shot. And if he gets those
one, he can wire that thing.
He really can, because he's on his off foot and then he just rips it and you're like, dear God.
The clack it makes on the glass. It's a good clack.
Yeah. He's gonna break the glass if he doesn't start hitting the goddamn net.
Yeah. But no, really liked him.
Yep. So Bleed and Magna got reassigned. I didn't think
already. Yeah, I think that's Jacob McDonald is playing next game.
Yeah, or someone said that there was maybe some cap stuff. I don't really.
It's probably cap. Or maybe there's an Eagles game tomorrow. I have no fucking clue. So
I don't really have anything to say that those two. I didn't think they were particularly bad. I didn't think they were particularly terrible. They were just kind of there. They were AHL vets. Magna did make a really nice move at one point, and I was like, "This is his chance," and then he fell.
Lost the puck.
And then OC.
That's Jason Magna.
OC had that one nice play to Bleed that he almost got to, but Hellebuck got the poke check out there first.
Bleed had one funny moment. Where the hell were you shooting that, dude?
Oh yeah, it was such a weird shot because
he's on the half wall, literally arm's length from the wall.
Yeah,
and he's like, I'm gonna go high blocker on Bucky, and Bucky's just like, okay. It wasn't even close to being on net.
Yeah, and, luckily Hellebuck actually got a piece of it and it went out. So
I was like, that's my AHL vet right there.
It's dude, he's taking the chances he can, all right? I guess he's just sending it, But those two were fine. Let's get into who our disappointing players were. Now you said EJ, and I don't disagree.
Oh, it's a long list for me tonight.
I have a list of 3 guys that I was really not a fan of.
I'll go. I'll go first.
We need to come up with a name for this because, I was thinking, what's the opposite of a star?
Terrible plur.
That's not a star. That's. I don't think that's in any astrology book you're going to be reading. Astronomy.
Terrible.
Sorry. Don't read astrology books.
We can just turn terrible into a noun. These are our 3 terribles. We have.
Terribles? You mean? Yeah. Okay.
We have LOC. I think he takes the cake for me tonight.
Really?
EJ gives him a run for his money. Did not like what's his face? Erod. Did not like Newhook. Did not like Comfer.
Yeah. So my list is.
Did not like Manson a ton. I thought he was okay.
Yeah, I think Manson was he was dead average.
And one more, I don't know if this guy's on your list. I thought Sam Girard was awful tonight.
Really? I thought he was actually good. I thought he was pushing the play up well, and he was keeping guys to the outside really well defensively. So I'm just I don't really know where you're coming from on that one. I will agree with EJ, and Comfer is up there for me, dude. It was because Kaut at the end, you saw Kaut and Nichushkin were going. And I was just like, okay, Comfer, this is your time. Just get a shot. No, he was doing nothing. He was a literal ghost on the ice. It was so irritating to watch.
Just classic.
I thought
freaking ghost, dude.
See, I didn't have a huge problem with O'Connor outside of that one play. I thought he was Logan O'Connor the rest of the night. I actually thought he had a little bit more offensive touch than he usually does.
Sam Girard was very high event.
Yeah, that makes sense, but I don't know. I think this is one of those teams where he's just not going to like do well.
So was McCarr.
That makes sense.
And Taves. Taves got hurt.
Yeah, Taves
and came back and did not look good when he came back.
Yeah,
like,
we can talk about that really quick. Taves was gone for the beginning of the third period, came back, played a little bit. You good?
Yep, just got to adjust.
And then someone said he went to the X-ray room after the game. Him and Erod. So
interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Obviously, this is something that people tend to overrate. Guys go to the X-ray room all the time.
No, it happens all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Taves.
With Taves, it's probably something a little bit more serious. With Erod, it could be, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, you worry if it's Taves because the Avs aren't good without Devon Taves, just generally speaking.
Yeah. They
were 500. They're basically 500 when he's hurt, which is not good. Just in his Avs tenure. I do think Byram's better now, so it like wouldn't matter as much.
Yeah.
But still.
And obviously you have Josh Manson instead of Jack Johnson. So
right, and then you can just play Jacob McDonald.
Yeah.
Defense.
But yeah, so let's flip to the other side. Let's do our 3 stars. So at my 3rd star, I have Bowen Byram. I thought he was really good tonight. He's been really good so far. He's getting it. He got some points tonight. There were a few chances where he maybe could have filled the net, like if he like had a real nice finish, but I don't think it was a problem at all. But he was really good defensively. I thought he was moving the puck well. He was joining the rush. He was just doing Bo Byram things. He was Bowen.
Yeah.
Bo by the hockey guy.
I have him at 2.
You have him at 2?
Loved Bo tonight. Yeah.
See, now who do you have at 3 then?
I'm still figuring that out. So I've got 1 and 2 pretty locked down.
All right, I'll just do my 3 then.
3's up for grabs.
I'll do my 3.
Do your 2, yeah.
Do you okay? So if at 2 I have Mikko. Now I thought Mikko played.
You gonna say like Lehkonen or someone at 1? Oh,
Val. I thought Val was the most. He was the best player at both ends of the ice, and I think Mikko played really well. He was super good offensively. There were some what takes Mikko down off 1 for me is that 3rd goal. He reads the play and he completely flubs it. He like the pass, his stick just isn't on the ice and it needs to be. I don't think it's a huge problem, but for me, I just think Val was a little bit more dominant on both ends of the ice, mostly just because of his defensive effort and the fact that Comfer wasn't going as well. I'll always kind of give Nuke a little bit of headway because his line mates just aren't as good. He's not playing with Nathan MacKinnon.
And the shift he did play with Nathan MacKinnon was a nightmare for the Jets.
Right,
Holy
exactly.
Cow. Yeah.
And I think he should have started overtime. So
yeah, I'll go Val at 3. Remember 2 years ago that play they would run with Val at the start of every overtime?
Where he would just drive the net?
They like win the face-off and then they would like take the puck behind the net and Val would circle and he would just take the puck from behind the net and just go.
Yeah.
Man. And it worked.
They don't do it. It didn't stop working.
Yeah, exactly.
With 3 guys on the ice, it works so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't need to bitch about overtime anymore. So those are my 3. Who are your?
I'll go Val, Bo, Mikko. Same 3, but just Val at 3. I thought he just made some very odd decisions sometimes. That's the only thing I really
Yeah, the only thing
Can knock
like
him on.
it's
His passing
it's
wasn't
really
very good.
close with me for Miko and Nuke. I don't think this is something I pointed out. I don't think Nuke passed the puck. Like he just
But when he does, it's not to anyone, and it's frustrating.
sometimes, yeah. But for me with Miko and Nuke, it is very close because I do think Nuke was a bit quieter in the first period. But I also think in the third period, I think Nuke was a little bit more.
I got better as the game went on. Yeah, so I'll give him 3. I thought Bo was the best defenseman by a long shot. That showed, I think, in ice time. I think he got the second most to KO by
Probably.
like a minute.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I saw him out there a lot.
Yeah, 23-43 for Bo. And then it was, yeah, he led the team in 5v5 ice time with 20-46. So
yeah,
that checks out. He's an animal. Loved him on the PK too. They should just run him and Manson on the PK. Like,
yeah. So
rotate
here's
EJ as like your 5th guy back there.
it should be him, Manson, EJ, and Taves.
Oh, I think Makar's really good at penalty killing.
I think he is too, but I want to save his minutes, and I think I could see just giving EJ more minutes on the penalty kill, just to kind of save Byram's legs a little
But
bit
EJ's
more.
like bad at it now.
That's true. If he continues to suck, then I don't have any problem with it. The only other thing I wanted to talk about tonight was Alex Newhook. I think
And Erod. Can we like lump those two together?
I want to just talk about Newhook for now because I think Erod's. I know Erod hasn't been good, but he gets a pass because
they both sucked so far.
But yeah, I'm only
No
giving
points.
Erod a pass before we really go in on him because this is still only his 4th regular season game with the team. So
Sure.
maybe give him. I'll give him 10, and then I'm cutting it off. Hard cut off. Newhook, I think he needs. I think he should have been the one that got sent down instead of Ben Myers. To be quite honest,
that is certainly a take.
I don't know. I don't think Myers was great, but guess what? He scored a goal, and he contributed meaningfully a little.
Am I saying I agree with Ben Myers being sent down? No. But dude, Alex Newhook is your second line center.
I know.
Unless you want to pay
I don't
Sean Barron's, Oscar Olesen, and a 1st-round pick for a second line center.
I don't think he should have been sent down for long. I think with a guy like Newhook, it's very similar to Burakovsky when he got sent down for a game. You send him down for a weekend to be like, hey, I think I don't know, man. He just needs to pick his level of play up.
He's trying too hard. He's got to just be Alex Newhook, man.
He's trying to do too much offensively. He's trying to dance guys. He's trying to be Nathan McKinnon. He's not Nathan McKinnon. He's Alex Newhook.
He could be Nathan McKinnon.
He could, but he's not right now.
It's true. He's just trying too hard. I think just with the way the second line is constructed right now, it's got to be more dump and chisel.
Yeah, he needs to.
Got to get your work boots on a little bit. They're trying to carry it too much. Like the top line can carry it however much they want because they're the top line. I mean, it works. But
so far this year, Newhook has 0 points and 3 shots on net in 4 games, and the shots on net is where I'm like, dude, that can't be that low. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. I liked his defense a little bit better tonight, I guess.
His defense is getting there, but
it's
honestly,
fine.
With Erod and Nuke on his wings, like I prefer him to be just going offensively.
My big problem with this is you're going to get into a situation in February where you're at the deadline. You don't have a second line center because you didn't give Newhook a chance.
Yeah,
you played 3C tonight. You didn't give him a chance. You don't have a second line center, and now you sacrifice 4 or 5 years off your window by trading Barons or Olesen or your first round for a 2C.
I don't think this is him not getting a chance. Bednar said before the year they're going to switch things up a little bit.
He said he was going to give him a good long look at second line
Yeah.
center,
Yeah.
and
So
that good long look lasted 3 games.
no. So what he said is he was going to give him a long look, but he would also be going up and down depending on how games were going. Sometimes, like he probably didn't want to match it. The teams that the Avs have played so far, who are their second line centers?
Alex, before we get into that, Alex Newhook cannot be with Andrew Cogliano
Yeah, that was one where
ever
I was
again.
like,
Andrew Cogliano can't play offense anymore. That's okay. I love him as a player. Very high IQ.
yeah, he's only going to cycle the puck
Fast.
for you offensively.
He's a third or
And
fourth line guy. He's not
yeah,
he's
I
not to be playing with Alex Newhook.
I think
If
instead
you
of
want
moving
to see
Comfer
Newhook
up,
succeed, you have to play him with good players.
instead
They're
of
setting him up to fail, and it's frustrating because this is what they do. This is just what they've
well,
done with Newhook ever since he's gotten here.
I think that there's a little bit of fairness to what you're saying, but I also feel like giving him one game on the third line, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's a good wake up call. But I think I personally think he should have been up over Comfer. I think
Hopefully it's a good wake up call for Bednar because you lost this game and you got dominated for half of it. As with JT Compher as your 2C. So I hope it's a wake up call for him to just let it roll. It's not any
I
better
think
with anybody else.
if you're going to put anybody at 2C other than Newhook, it should be Erod or Mikko, and those are the only other options. And I don't need, and even then, I'm like, just play Newhook at 2C. But I also, I don't know like how to get him going a little bit better. I don't know, but
You just let it roll for 10 games, man.
yeah, I think they need to give him a leash, and hopefully they do that. But we'll see.
You are losing 4-3 to the Jets tonight, no matter how you constructed your center core. Like JT Compher is not a 2C. Evan Rodriguez, based on what I've seen, is not a 2C. Alex Newhook, he has that burst. He has that skill where it's like you've got a guy here. He can be that 2C for you. And they took it away after 2 games.
3 games.
3 games.
Also, I do want to pump your brakes a little bit. Like I said, it's one game.
Could be back. He could be back on the second line.
I would not, especially
in
against
2 days.
Seattle. I would be shocked if he's not the 2C again. But we can save this more in-depth conversation for another game, for another day. I think we should sleep on this a little bit, and then we'll maybe talk about it another time. But I think it's a good time to get out of here, unless you have any final thoughts.
Moment of the game, fool.
Oh yeah, moment of the game. So my moment of the game, boy, it was that first, the shift on that first goal. God, I was just like, yes. Like even if I was like not an Avs fan, I would just be like, God damn, dude, that's good hockey.
It was hockey porn. That's all that was.
Yeah.
Mine was
that one to the hub.
Mine was more of a low key thing, but it happened in the first period, and it was this move that Cale Makar put on this poor soul. I forget who it was. It was his first shift or second shift, something like that. And he did the Mohawk.
Oh yeah,
the Mohawk move.
I think I
the guy
the biggest memory.
The guy was like, oh, and yeah,
okay,
so cool. Yeah,
my runner up was when Bo sidestepped Wheeler at the blue line.
Oh, that was a good one. Don't you mean me?
Oh yeah, sorry, he sidestepped you. I got 2 daddies.
Not a very good skater anymore.
Bo Byram and Neil Pionk own you.
I'm cool with the Bo thing. The Neil Pionk thing, man, it sucks. It sucks.
Your name's Brad Bionk now. Yep.
No.
Yep. All right.
Neil Pionk still sucks, by the way.
All right.
Not letting this go.
For everyone at Cake Eaters, me and Blake Bionk, we'll see you next time. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe.
Neil Pionk sucks.
Okay.